I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me. An open wound start to see. Everybody come here, gather round. Welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly. Thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase the bag. I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up everything. If I could see my dreams, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make whatever you don't let go. Don't let go.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I hope y'all had a good day today. I had a good day. I got to visit with my cousin that's in at a rehab branch. He's been sober for 92 days, so I'm really excited and happy for him. We're live again today because unfortunately Lori Paige has not been found. June 3rd, 2023. She went missing and she still hasn't been found. And in my opinion, not enough is being done to find her. Thank you so much, Millie. Thank you, Borrowed Angel. Lori Paige is 12 years old from Tallahassee, Florida. She lived with her father. Her dad worked as a correction officer, I believe in a jail. He was a corrections officer. He worked at night. So she was by herself at night, but they had an adult somewhere around in the apartment complex that was there for emergencies. Well, not this emergency. She went to Griffin Middle School. Let's see. So her teacher is the one that reported her missing. Her teacher. Not her mom, not her dad. Her teacher noticed that she wasn't going to school. School was like her favorite thing. Like she never would miss school. And they said, okay, I thought so, Borrowed Angel. Thank you. She said that she was so excited to go to school. And when she noticed that she wasn't going to school, something was wrong. So she called to do a welfare check. Oh, okay, Kaz. I'm glad to see you came in. Hey, Blue Eyes. So, since Lori's been missing, you guys, her dad moves out of the place, the home, the only home Lori knows there. He just leaves it and moves somewhere else. Sus, dude. Much. I don't know about that. It's when she comes home, she's gonna go. Did you put leave a forwarding address with them? Say, hey, if my daughter comes back, tell her to go over here. Like, I don't understand. What are you gonna do when your daughter goes to your old apartment where she lives? The only place she knows she lives. That don't make no sense at all. But we have a guest with us today. We all know, if you don't know, you live under a rock. Miss Smiley Stories World. I keep wanting to put the S on the Smiley. Smiley Stories World. She actually went out there herself, and she also talked to Lori's dad. And here she is, Miss Smiley. Hello, how are you? You're muted. Mute it.
Hello, everybody. They know me. Don't touch the buttons.
I know you said that before, too, before we went live. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I would say hi to everybody, but I can't really see the chat. So I know I have some people here. I heard you say Borrowed Angel.
Mm-hmm. Borrowed Angel, Millie, Blue Eyes, Dynamite.
Oh, Dynamite.
Yes.
I love my people and I love everybody in here. Thank you
I
all
know
for
I
being
love
here.
going at yours and your people too. They're always just so like some places you go and you can just feel like that it's not where you want to be,
Yeah.
and some places you go and you feel welcomed and everyone's so kind and everything, and that's something that I get when I go into your chat, and I know a lot of my
Good.
subs go to your chat too.
Good. I hope so. And y'all all sub up to her. She is so sweet. And she's the reason that I actually was out prowling one night and I found this case. So I'm very excited. I think this case was meant to be. I'm just so sorry that it is under these circumstances.
So you went out there. You said you live in Florida and your mom lives where
In
Miranda
Tennessee
is.
and where Miranda is. Yeah. She's about 9 miles from where Miranda is. Miranda thinks that Tallahassee police don't know where she's at because she don't want to give up that DNA, and they're calling to ask her. And she says she will, but she don't want to give them the address. But
Get
listen,
out my room now.
but
Sorry.
listen, if Smiley knows where she's at, then believe me, Tallahassee Police Department knows where she's at.
Smiley's been doing a lot of research
hmm
and found out a lot of information. So, are you going to be able to go up to, I don't even remember, where does she live?
Goodlettsville, Tennessee, actually. In Nashville,
Oh,
yeah. She lives in Goodlettsville.
oh,
Mhm.
oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes she spends a lot of time in Georgia. She's around. She likes to play around too and say, "How do you know I'm not in Tallahassee right now?" Well, she likes to spend a lot of time the parts of Georgia that they're speaking of. Thomasville, that's just 44 minutes outside of Tallahassee. That's where the dad stays. She likes to kind of play around with the dad still.
So that makes me think even more things.
I learned that on my little trip.
Can,
Yeah, yeah, she's always,
yeah.
they're always arguing and going back and forth and partying and some odd things.
You, maybe she did run away. She ran away from all that nonsense.
Maybe. I don't know. I understand the first time that, and this is not from the neighbors and stuff. This was actually from some kids. I don't want to get them really all involved. The police does have all this information.
Yeah, not kids.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. But um, she actually the first time they said she ran away. Um, she didn't really run away. She was actually put out of the house. She was actually kicked out of the house. So that was kind of interesting to find out. And when um, she actually, she actually went to, I won't even say a friend's house. I'll say someone that she knows and was familiar with, and she slept outside. The parent didn't even know that this person was helping her get food and a change of clothes. And the very thing that she did the next day was she did go to school. And they ended up, calling her dad, and he went and got her, or she ended up back home. So that says a lot to me. It really does. And if she run away, to me, which now the neighbors that I spoke with are telling me that child did not run away. That's their opinion. But if
Right.
she, in my opinion, knowing what I know now, if she run away, why would she go? She went to school the next day the first time. So,
Why would she have missed all the school, and would she have really ran away for this for almost a year?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
where would she have gone?
yeah, I'm having a very hard time believing that now.
Let's see. Millie think is kind of thinking she ran away. And Borrowed Angel said, "I'm wondering if these two aren't working together." And that's what came to my mind whenever you said that they go back and forth, and it's still happening. It's not something from the past. It's still
Yeah,
continuing.
yeah. My first initial thing when I talked to the dad on the phone at that time, I was under, like I guess everybody else was, with the mom, because we all heard her videos on Facebook and stuff. She's way out there, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't want to be too judgy and mess up this case, but she said some really odd things, and she still does. I was kind of leaning towards the mom, especially since she came 500 miles away, and they had an argument that night, and the dad went to
The night
work.
before. Yeah.
hmm But and the police was called on her, and she was made leave. But when I spoke with the dad, um, there was some things when I spoke with him that in the back of my mind, like I could tell he was kind of taking up for her or protecting. It seemed like to me, um, in my opinion.
Because
And I
remember we were talking, sorry to interrupt you. We were talking about maybe her trying to do something and set him up like in the beginning.
yes,
We were kind of thinking that now that we're thinking maybe they're working together. How does that work? Because her TikTok videos are sure they say one thing for sure.
yeah, yeah. Well, but when he gave when I asked him what would you say to Lori if you could, in my opinion, I thought he was really sincere, and I thought that he was really heartfelt to her, and maybe he was, and maybe he is. I believed him at that point, and I didn't feel he had anything to do with anything. But after going there and learning he moved and different things that I learned speaking with different people, I thought, wait a minute, back up. I got to rethink this. Now, I just don't think, again, they may be in it together, or Lori's mom does not have anything to do with it. That's just my opinion.
And what
And
about the grandma?
I think, ooh, I think the
You want to go
grandma.
over that?
Yeah, the grandma, I don't know a lot about her, but I do believe something is very strange there, because she goes to the dad's a lot of times, from my understanding. She's still friendly with the dad,
And it's the mom's mom, right?
and it's the mom's mom.
Okay.
I had also been told she used to be into trafficking. I was blown away at that.
I remember that.
Um, yeah, I was really blown away. I found out, and I have court documents on that and this had to do with before Lori got missing, but she changed her name and Miranda's name way back, like in 99, and that could have something to do with the trafficking thing or not. I don't
Wait,
know.
say that again?
She changed her name and Miranda's name way back, like in 1999 or
Oh,
something like that.
wow.
Yeah, so that could have something to do with the trafficking or not.
Mhm.
I don't know. Um, so that's something that needs to be looked into. I
As
just,
if Miranda would have been, and that's why she changed her name.
it could be that Miranda was in the same situation. I don't know. Um, yeah, one of the neighbors, I asked them also, how did they know? And they said, well, if you listen to one of her videos, Miranda says, and I haven't heard that yet because she has so many, but she said in one of the videos that Miranda did say nonchalantly that, well, my mom sold me. Well, why wouldn't he do that to her?
What? And that's on her TikTok,
On her Facebook, one of her Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
And I'm sure they got a clip of that somewhere.
oh, it's
They,
somewhere. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So,
well, this
yeah,
is crazy.
yeah.
So, how did you feel when you talked to the dad? You said you felt that he was really sincere.
When I first talked to him, I felt he was really sincere. I felt like but I thought that he was kind of protecting Miranda a little bit. I also felt a little bit funny because we all know that people can get things mixed up on the internet.
Yeah.
And he told me that the media had got some things mixed up, and it actually was not him and the baby's mama, Miranda, fighting. He did say that it was Miranda and the daughter fighting. Okay. Now I have to rethink that. I don't believe that. I believe it was him and her. Um, at
I
the
thought it would have been her from the beginning. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And the
Just
reason after I talked to the neighbors said there was all the time the cops called out, all the time there was, something going on, partying,
oh
cars
wow.
bouncing, this, that, and the other. My concern is, where was Lori when the cops came out all of those times? There was three neighbors right there that all said the same thing about the cops being called out. There was also many neighbors that said they never saw Lori. Some said, yes, we saw her get off the bus. Some said, um, some of the neighbors never even knew that child existed, didn't even know until the teacher come knocking that Lori even lived there, that there was a child in that duplex. It was like she didn't exist until they come knocking and said, have you seen this child? So that's a big question there. Why did they not? How did they not? Um, I asked the one guy about that in the back, and he said, well, if they didn't, then they just wasn't looking.
In the back of the apartment complex?
Yeah, he was evidently one of the dad's friends. He said,
Mm.
I know the dad and I know her. He was, um, I wasn't expecting to run into him. I went to the back where they told me that Lori had lived. Um, when they told me that the dad moved, and I wanted to go see for myself.
Mhm.
I knew she lived around there, but I didn't know I was standing right there where she actually lived. And they pointed me and said, go back there. That's where she lives. And I'm like, okay. And I did. And I knocked on a door. And I didn't know really which one it was. And when I did, nobody answered. I could hear kids. Um, and I turned around to come back, and there was two guys walking towards me, and all this is on video. But when they did, one was on this side and one was on this side. One was black, one was white, and I was kind of in the middle. And the black guy told me, he's like, is this about the missing girl? And I was like, yes. And I said, do you know her? And I handed him a flyer, and I handed the other one a flyer. He's like, I know all about it. And I really didn't know what to say. I was kind of off guard. And, I was just kind of asked him what he knew. And, I'm not boots on the ground or anything. And, this is only my second case. I do summer wells, and it just kind of threw me off guard. And something just, I mean, he's like, I knew her and I knew her dad, but I knew more him because she was a kid. And it's like the police come out here and talk to me 3 times, and they asked me about did I know any pedos, and um, he was just volunteering a little extra information, and I was
Yeah.
just trying to keep my, and he's like, they lived right there, and I'm standing there dead on looking at I'm just right there at their apartment. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he said they moved yesterday. I think that's what he said. And I was just like, kind of, but there was a bicycle there, and I was looking at it like, wow, whose bike is that? Did people already move in? And a million things was running through my mind. I was not trying to stay there because, honest to goodness, I could look out of the corner. You know how you look out of the corner of your eye?
Mhm.
And the white guy is the one that bothered me. And he was kind of just standing over there, like with his hand on his hip, and had his head tilted. And I kind of really kept watching him out of the corner of my eye. The black guy was really tall, and I was just thinking, I need to get up out of here because just something just didn't feel right to me. And I usually don't feel like that with people, and I just needed to go. That's just how I felt. The black guy that I was talking to, he asked me, he said, he said, hey, can I have some more of those flyers? And I said, what? And he said, can I have some more of those flyers? And I said, sure. I said, here, you can have, actually here. And I hand him a lot of them. I'm here, take them, take them. I felt in my heart that was because he did not want me to pass out those flyers. That's what I felt.
Oh.
What I mean, we're talking 8 months. I don't feel like this guy wanted flyers. When I hand him the first one, you can go back and you can hear it. He's he said, "I'll put it somewhere." That's what he said. I'll put it somewhere. And then just out of the blue, he's going to ask me, "Can I have a couple more of those flyers?" And I was just like, "Sure,
Mm.
here, you can have." Kind of like when they rob you. Here, you can take whatever you want. Here. I just needed to get out of there. That's what I felt like. I felt very uncomfortable with the white guy over here. I kept my close eye on. I'm just going to tell you, that's the way I felt.
Well,
And I think,
they just messed up my next question then because I wanted to know how you felt being right there at the apartment, but I guess you weren't able to because you had company.
yeah, I had unexpected company. So I
Right.
feel like I don't remember seeing them pull up or hearing them pull up or anything like that. I told a friend of mine, I said, I wonder if, because you can hear the people up front. This is what they said in the video before that when I was with the 3 ladies. They said, they all three talking about the grandma, the mom, and the dad. They said they know where that child is at. That was their opinion. I let them have it. They said they know where she's at. She's not missing. She didn't run away. They know where she's at. Now, they said when the teacher came, he came around there talking about the father, and he walked by. He didn't even take a flyer. He didn't go knock on any of the doors looking for Lori when she come up missing. It was the teacher that
Mhm.
reported her missing or whatever,
And the pastor that helped also, right?
and the pastor. Yeah,
Mirandy wants to know if you think they're actually looking for Lori.
I think. Um, well, I think that the pastor and the school teachers, and I think they get their little groups together, and they are. I spoke with the detective the other day when I called that's on the case. Hmm. She told me, and that was on recording. You'll have to go back and listen to mine because I don't, it's
I
on.
Yeah, I just dropped your link so that they can go back and listen and
Yeah.
watch it.
Only reason because I'm on my phone. No, please don't ask me how to do that. But I only got one thing here, and geared up, ready to go. But I asked her. She knew I was a YouTuber, and I asked her, um, what can I do at the end or anything like that? And she said, yes, please keep her name out. They need the help. Keep her face out, or whatever. And I feel that, yes, they are looking for her. I believe that thanks to the teacher and stuff, they're keeping her name and face out, and they're pushing them to do that. Are they doing it hard? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't
In
know.
your opinion,
In
my
my
opinion, no.
opinion, um, I feel like um, they're trying to do everything they can. In my opinion, um, but I just don't know. I mean, I don't know because I'm not there like locally. I don't
Right.
know. I know in other opinions and hearsay and in what I heard boots on the ground, on and off camera, um, in locals' opinions, um, from all walks of life, older, younger, on and off camera. They feel like that maybe that the cops had dropped the ball twice, and I've just let them have their opinion, and that is, that's their opinion. Everybody's allowed to have one.
Right.
You know, everybody agreed on one thing. They do feel like that the truth will come out. The truth always comes to light, and they all agreed. Every one of them, on and off camera, agreed that the teacher deserves so much praise. And if there's any way possible, if Lori's alive, they said they hope and pray that this teacher could somehow foster Lori.
I was just gonna say that. I wrote talking about the teacher. I wrote this down. How many days did she miss before the teacher reported her or got the welfare check?
Ooh, I'm not sure positive, but I know it was quite a few, like 3, 4, something like that. I know it may have been more than that, that she did not show up.
Give
I
or
have
take a
not
week.
had a chance to talk to the teacher yet. And I am just a little bit confused about that myself because I know that's about the time that school was getting out. So I have a few questions about that. I would like to speak to the teacher. So I don't know and I'm just saying, if this was planned, I can't put my hands right on when that school was out for the summer. And if maybe it was summer school or what, I'm not quite sure about the dates and stuff there in that county. So,
Yeah, because some schools let out like in the middle of June
yeah,
sometimes. And you have the call that you have with you and her dad
yes,
that you're gonna play for us.
yes. Hold on.
She says,
You want me to play that now?
sure.
Okay.
She's playing a call that she, hey, Angie, with Lori's dad.
Hello, is this Mr. Wiley? Yes, ma'am. Hey, this is Tammy. Smiley wrote you an email and you wrote me back. How are you doing? I'm good. How you doing? I'm doing fine. I hope it's okay. I called you. I just now got your email a few minutes ago. Okay. I hope it's okay. Is it okay if I record you? I was just gonna, I'm recording, I have a YouTube page, and I just wanted to talk to you about Lori, if you don't mind. But it's totally up to you. I don't have to. I just wanted to talk to you about kind of some things. I noticed you really wasn't out there in the news or anything, and I just found out about your daughter recently, and I'm a small channel. I just kind of wanted to pick up on Lori and kind of keep her name and face out there. And Just kind of wanted to know, like, maybe what happened the last time you saw her and what was going on and stuff like that. Get your version, basically.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm just being very cautious because, you know, it's a whole bunch of crap going on. I've been working with detectives.
I totally understand, and you're more than welcome. I didn't know how I had put it in my email, but you're more than welcome. I didn't know if you wanted to, you know, come on my live or just do it on here or just talk to me off or let me just, you know, tell them. However you want to feel comfortable, I mean, that's fine with me. I just basically, what I wanted to do, I'm in Panama City, I just want to tell you that. And I hope to come up there very soon and just kind of help. Maybe if I could put my own feet on the ground and just go door to door and kind of help look for her. I have 4 grown boys, but I have grandchildren too, and I would want somebody to help look for mine. You know, I hate this. You know, I really hate it. Whether she ran away or something happened, I think she deserves to be found.
Well, from what I can tell you, like, people, it's a lot of false information on the internet. Like, I don't say that because it's like, I talked to like 5 different detectives already.
Yes, sir.
So it's like, I had talked to 5 different detectives plus a forensics team that came to my house and like they did the whole DNA thing throughout the whole house. So it's, I don't know, it's just a lot of false information, you know, mom or whatever. And like I said, when I called the police, that she was gone. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
But that wasn't the first time she ran away.
Yeah.
You know, that was the second time for me. So the first time she ran away, I called the police. I talked to the first detective, and we talked. So we thought she was probably over a friend's house, but I didn't really know none of her friends like that because she just go off to school or whatnot. Either I'll be at work when she go to school, or I might be home. It just depends. But you know, I ain't really know her friends the first time she went away. But even then, looking the first time, you know, she was at the first time she ran away, she was sleeping in an abandoned apartment building. So it wasn't even her friends. So we were looking like, what the heck? She was like what you doing or whatever. But that happened, and then the mama came. So this is what people don't understand. The mama called the police on a wellness check. And the police came to the house. Lori was watching, she was watching some anime. I don't know, show or whatever. I was in the room, and the police came. They was like, hey, checking on Lori. And I was like, what's the reason, whatever? They said her mama was doing a wellness check. And Lori was right there because it was like the door was like right there in the living room. So Lori got mad. Right. Like, what she doing? Like, what she doing? You chilling. And so I opened the door. I was like, come on, babe. I don't care. Like, whatever. And she came in. Like, you know, she was like, whatever. She was over. And the police was like, all right, well, I see there ain't nothing going on, so I'm about to go. She said, she was outside for wasting time, whatever. I was like, all right, it's cool. I don't care, whatever. But, so she left. I went back to the room. And then the woman popped up. Mind you, I don't know if she's there. She just be popping up at the crib randomly. So she came and she was like, she wanted to speak to the daughter. I was like, well, why don't you just ain't call her? Like, you can call me anytime. You feel me? Like, it don't matter. And she was like, I just want to speak to my daughter. I was like, all right, whatever. And she was talking to Lori, and Lori was getting upset. So I came outside while I was talking because Lori was starting to like yell at her mom or whatever. and it was a lot of back. But see, the miscommunication was people thinking me and Miranda was getting into an argument, but it wasn't me and Miranda. It was Miranda and Lori getting into an argument, and I had to tell Lori to go back in the house. You feel me? And then, so I told her that, and then Miranda was talking crazy, all types of crazy stuff, telling me she gonna kill me. I was like,
I don't know.
So that's when I called the police again. I was like, y'all need to come get the test check. And that happened. But Lori was getting
she was gone one day.
Previously, like she was already building up, like getting in trouble over and over and over and over. And I was telling her, like, I gotta be able to trust you when I'm gone. You feel me? Like, I'm gone, we gotta hold it down because it's just you and me. She was getting in trouble, and then I was just like, man, I'm about to see going to like military school or boarding school or something. Didn't get a trip. And so she went into her little phone or whatever, and I remember seeing her face when I was created. And I'm telling her, I was like, what you doing? And then she told me, she was like, oh, I'm trying to figure out why my mama don't love me. I mean, a lot of stuff she tell me, I don't be having an answer for her.
It's got to be hard for you as a dad, not to be able to answer that. For your mama. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't even know what I said, but I know I gave her a hug and she was crying. I was like, you gotta chill out. I think I was like, I think I was telling her, like, you don't know what adults go through, you feel me? Like, sometimes adults just be messed up, you feel me? You don't know what they go through or what they think they do. Right. So, I told her that. And then, I think after that, she was just, like, she normally quiet. You feel me? Like, she at home, she quiet. She was chill, she sitting in the corner, she probably be on YouTube or watching TV or whatever. She don't really say much. So the teacher said she didn't get in much trouble at school or anything. Was it just at home she was getting in trouble?
She got in trouble at school. She did something, like she almost got kicked off the like it was going to like permanently suspend her home.
He said because he said that she would cry and she was crying, but he said that she would ask him things like why her mom didn't love her and stuff like that. And he didn't know how to answer it. Typical. I told him, he didn't know how to answer things like women would know how to answer. So she would go in the corner or sit down and cry. That's what he was talking about, SL. So I told him, I said, they said she didn't get in trouble at school. And he said, he's telling now about, well, she got in trouble on the bus and she got in trouble. It was more her friend doing something, but she got in trouble. That's not true. She did get in trouble because there's a lot of misconception out here. And you're going to hear him tell now how the friend lit a fire or did something and she was there. So I asked him, I said, well, is she more a follower? And he said, yes. So that's not good either, but just, here we go.
Like getting on the bus, because her and her friend like lit a fire in the grass or whatever. And the bus driver saw it. And the bus driver told the school, and I had to come in and get her. And Lori, like, she wants, so like Lori feels like whatever she do, like she ain't really on. She always been like that. Yeah. So even like, when she was younger when I first had it, she was always blunt. So she was just like, yeah, we did it. And I think her friend did it, but she was gonna take the blame. I was like, what you doing?
She was gonna take the blame for her friend.
You can't be around people like that. So she was getting in trouble, but it just depended what it was. But yeah, she was doing the most. Was she more of a follower than a leader? Yeah, she was. I used to have to tell her that, like, you gotta, set your own path. Like, I used to have one talk with this girl, like, do this, do that. Like, don't this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. How long did she stay gone the first time she ran away?
She was gone, I think, about a day. She was going home the whole day.
Yeah.
And we found her at school. And then that's when we was like, yo, where you went? Like, we were looking for you. And that's when she showed us the place or whatever. And we even talked after that. Like, I was like, what you gonna do? Like we ain't had no place to go. Whatever. But she said it. Like, she wasn't coming back. And even that first time, it was, I don't want to like make people look bad. Like, people know how bad Miranda is and her family.
Yeah.
Word on it.
He's still trying not to make the mom look bad.
Like, Miranda even said it. She was like, yeah, that's what she do. Like, that's exactly what she do. I told her, and I was like, yeah, she's honest. And I was like, yeah, that's what she do. Like, she like to do that.
Yeah. I watched the videos with Miranda, and that's her mom, right? And I'm not trying to cast blame on anybody or anything like that. She just seems so nonchalant about everything as far as her daughter's concerned. And she blames a lot. I mean, from what I see, this is just my opinion, on you and Brooklyn. Now, is Brooklyn her mom or your mom?
That's her mom.
That's her mom? Okay, so they don't get along either, evidently. But I guess she's blaming the missing part on her mom and you. But like, she's just so nonchalant. Like, she's saying the police has asked her for DNA, and you know, she won't give up her address and stuff, and it's just wow.
So look, when she was missing, I was telling her, like, you know, she's missing again or whatever. She kind of just brushed it off. So, mind you, I'm working with Detective Drake. I'm working with her. Like, everybody says she's been missing for 8 months and posted doing that. But I'm working with Detective Drake.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what she was doing, but I was working with her. I was talking back and forth with Detective Drake. And that's why I say it's a lot of false information on the internet. Like, the first month, the forensics team was at my house. You know, I get 2 DNA swabs. Forensic team sprayed down the house, see who was blood and all that crazy stuff. So I'm just like, all right, just do it. Like yeah, whatever. And I kept, you know, asking, like, oh, well, you know, did y'all go check on Miranda or whatever? They was like, no. So I don't know what they're doing. Like, even I'm starting to think, like y'all children, like, I don't know what y'all got going on right now. So that's my whole thing. But they saying it just was dead, but it wasn't dead because we were still looking at dead. But me and my family was looking. Now, our family,
She should give up that DNA.
We not have been searching on, you know, their behalf, but it's a lot of history between, like, her whole family. And, you know, like, cause I even asked, you know, the grandma, Miranda mom, you know, can she help me? But like she said, she's like, Miranda mom was like, she went away a lot. Like, not Miranda, but Lori liked to lie.
Yeah.
I like to, you know, spend things off and do stuff and be wrong. So everything I was learning was new because I never actually had, like, I had Lori when she was 5, and I think I had her this previous time.
So do you have split custody, or do you have full custody, or?
It was split when I got her when she was 5, because if I'm not mistaken, Miranda was Baker active or something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy. And foster care took Lori.
Okay.
And then I heard from like the sheriff department or whatever. So I
if I'm not mistaken, and you don't have to say where or anything, but I know, not Lori, I apologize. Miranda thinks nobody can know, but Miranda is now in Goodlettsville. Am I correct on that?
She where?
Goodlettsville, Tennessee, Nashville?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Like, I wouldn't even know. Like,
He's still kind of protecting her.
So I don't even.
Well, what I'm saying is, why is it that she drove all the way to Tallahassee? I guess is a better question. The night before, to argue with you or Lori. When she also has a video out there saying, "Hey, listen, I owe all this money. I'm getting evicted." But she drove all this way. Is she just like not right in the head? I mean, that's
no. Well, I don't know what she's doing, but see, I know Miranda got a friend like in the city outside of Tallahassee. Because I picked Lloyd up, I think from Lakewood once. I don't know if it's Lakewood. It was somewhere close by Tallahassee. It wasn't that far, but I know she got a friend. I don't know like how her life is,
right.
I don't really keep up with her, but I know she able to move around, and I mean she married to whoever the girl is she's been talking to for a long time. So I don't know their situation, but I mean, you wanted to come down to me. I mean, the first time she made the listening trip, she was just like, whatever, there's another phone. So, I mean, it could be plenty of reasons to, why she didn't do something. But she came down and, like I said, she had a friend in, I think, a town over or something. Yeah. I don't want to say it that way. I know it's like, you gotta go on peace. But she just pulled up, and I'm just like, well, what's going on? And it was tripping, like, she was mad, but it's a lot of stuff that happened that even I'm unaware of,
So Lori basically wanted to stay in Tallahassee with the situation.
She didn't want no cause on her. Okay. I had that hand down. I don't care how much I'm going to tell her. She didn't want no cause on her.
Yeah. Well, that makes kind of more sense. Okay. So, do you remember what Lori was wearing the night that she left? I mean, I know she could change, but do you not remember what she was wearing?
No, I'm talking some 8 months ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, all I know is she was laying down in the bed, because I work from 12 a.m. to 8:30. So, I mean, she be in the bed. She do that every night. Go to bed, go to sleep, I come back. It's like a routine. And then, it ain't not special about it.
They say they didn't have any digital footprints, so she didn't have a phone or anything.
She had a phone, but she got her phone taken away when she was doing dumb crap at school. Pulling out her phone or whatever. I'm just like, bro, like that ain't what it is for.
Yeah.
That's for emergencies if you need me.
So how would she get a hold of you if there was an emergency, like if you were at work at night?
If I was at work at night, I would assume she was home. Because she should be asleep.
Right. But if
I can't sit here and say,
so that y'all didn't talk about, like, is there a neighbor or something that if something were to happen that she could go to, or if there was something like, do y'all, because I know in Tallahassee, like, there should be ring door cameras or, like, that's a pretty busy area, CCTVs or anything up there. Did y'all check all the cameras or the police or?
Yeah, they check the cameras of the neighbors. I had one neighbor, but, he could have been there or he could have been gone. So, I ain't going to speak on his style, but it is cameras around there, or it is doorbell cameras. I was in the process of being one, but I ain't going to get one. But I was in the process of being one, so it just...
Nobody saw anything unusual, I guess, because they said there was just absolutely no footprint of her anywhere. And that, really disturbs me, personally. But, they say they think, you know, she's still alive and everything, so I guess that gives you hope.
I hope she's still alive, because, like, you know, everybody, you know, talking about she did it, like, that's...
No.
I ain't trying to get that right now.
Yeah, no, sir. I believe she's still alive, too, because that's what they were saying the other night. She's still alive, and, you know, I really want to put her out there and get her name and face out there and do whatever I can to keep her alive and hope somebody saw her. That's definitely what I want to do. And I know you know that I'm not that far from you, and a lot of people here come here, and it's spring break and back and forth, and I want to put flyers and stuff out here too. And who knows, a lot of people, juveniles and stuff, you know, come here just for that kind of stuff. Maybe, you know, it could be possible she could be here. You never know. And I'm definitely going to keep my eye out. I want to ask you one more thing, other than whatever you want to tell me, but I want to ask you one more thing. And I don't mean to sound cruel. I just want to ask you this on kind of what I saw on, and I'm just kind of, maybe I don't mean to be judgy on Miranda, but I have to. So, do you know if her mom had any, and I'm not saying it towards you, I'm asking for a reason. Do you or her mom had any life insurance on her?
I don't got life insurance on her. Yeah, that's mom. I don't know if she got life insurance on her.
Okay. And the reason I was asking, sometimes even if the dads are allowed to carry that or made to carry that through child support or anything, sometimes even the moms can get their hands on it. And so, not saying she did anything to her, I was just curious if you thought maybe it was a possibility she could have still come back and got her and even had her safe somewhere with her and made her leave with her that night.
That's what I was thinking. Seems like she probably just took it.
Yeah.
I don't know if she got life insurance, but I mean, I've been racking my brain for a long time. So.
Yeah. But I hope, I hope the best, and I hope she is out there safe somewhere, just wanting to be with her peers or, whatever. And I hope that she's safe, but she has no money. There's been no sign of her or anything like that. Is there anything I can personally do right now to help you that you can think of? I mean, it's your daughter. Is there anything that I can say or do to, if she hears this, is there anything
this broke my heart
want to say to her?
Yeah, I mean, just keep putting on it out. At the end of the day, my daughter is very, very bold, in the business. And what I want to say is, a lot of times she felt like she wasn't loved. And that ain't the case, at least not with me. I can't speak for Miranda or that whole side of the family. But when she was with me, it was all good. The whole family was all good. Yeah. Everybody still contacted me about it, was all good. So even if you listen to Lori or whatever it is, at the end of the day, we talk all the time. Like, it's choices. Sometimes you make good choices, sometimes you make bad choices. But, at the end of the day, we still try to move on. And people do love you out here. People do care about you out here, Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We wouldn't be doing sex. Or, I wouldn't be talking to the police all the time just to try to figure out what's going on, So, if you're listening, come home. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is, I don't know, you just come home. You come home, get hugs. She said we go on vacation. We do some YouTube stuff. We turn up and we figure out, how to move forward. And if I did something, or if I have made you feel unwanted or unloved, then that is not the case. Because I do love you. I do cherish you. My only daughter, my baby. And at the end of the day, I want to see you succeed. I always want to see you succeed.
know this is the first time I've ever talked to you, but I will say this to Lori, and I'm going to say it to you, and I've said it to my people before. I had, as a younger person, when I was younger, I had a cousin that ran away from home. And Lori, I'm telling you, your dad loves you. Your dad loves you. I can tell it in his voice. My cousin ran away from home, from Nashville, Tennessee, when we lived there. She tried to go be with her boyfriend. She ended up in California. Her boyfriend ended up leaving her and going back home. She stayed, but she wasn't so lucky. She ended up on the couch asleep with some people in the back bedroom. They come in and shot her in the head. She was covered up asleep. But they didn't want to leave any witnesses, long story short, to whatever the deal was going on there. And that was my aunt's only daughter. And listen, I don't want that to happen to you, Lori. Please listen to your dad. It's not worth it if you've run away. Please get in touch with your dad. Your mom, as bad as you might not want to, your grandmother, whoever. Lori, please, if you're out there safe somewhere, don't be scared to go back home. And Andrew, I really appreciate you talking to me. You have my number now. This is my real, true phone number. And you call me or text me anytime if there's anything I can do. And I will be up in Tallahassee at some point. And I already have flowers made for Lori here, sitting here on my desk. The Tallahassee Police Department number that y'all can call if you know anything about Lori Paige is 891-4200. And the FBI, I guess that's the FBI number, is 800-634-4097. Lori, you are not in any trouble, honey. There's people who love you and miss you, and listen to your dad, please. If there's anything else I can do for you, Andrew, you let me know, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, I'm going to let you get off of here, and I thank you so much for talking with me and taking this time out to do so.
Thank you for reaching out.
All right, thank you, hon. You have a good night, okay? All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Wow.
Now, all right. So, not one time in there did you hear that he told me he moved?
Nope.
All right. So, all I want to say to that is I have another phone call to him, but we won't go into that but I didn't want to call him on that. It's in one of mine somewhere down in there. After I got back from my trip, when I realized that he moved, because I was shocked. I had no intentions anyway of calling him back. That was turned over to the Florida FBI in Jacksonville and to the Tallahassee Police Department. The only reason being was when I found out that he moved, and I come back and I found out some other things, and I listened to it, and I wasn't even going to turn it in then because I was totally strictly going to let the police handle it. But the reason how, when I got his number and contacted him, I got it by getting his emails. He had several emails, and I emailed him, and when I called him, he directly gave me his number. He didn't say, "Who are you? Hi, bye, hello," nothing. He strictly gave me his phone number.
Right.
So I called him, and when I did, that was the call. And of course, there was a few iffy things, like I said, and I was tuned into them, but it was what he said to her that I felt he was sincere. I felt. And then, of course, it tugged at my heart because of what I had in my own family. I thought, well, let me go ahead and plead to her also, just in case. And in case she does hear, you never know. So, but when I went up there and I found all that out, and I come back and I thought, he did not tell me that he was going to move. I did tell him, however, I was going to come up there. So I was going to pass out flyers. I was a YouTuber. I recorded him. At some point, he has to kind of assume, you never know. So I emailed him and I said, the more I thought about it, I was just like, how are you going? It was short and sweet. And I'm like, you didn't tell me that you were going to move. It was nothing ugly. It was nice. I'm like, but what if Lori comes back home, or what if she comes back home? Well, I didn't get no response from him right away like I did before. But you know how you send an email, and if they change their email address, they keep trying to send it, the post office does, or whatever, it does. That's what kept happening. And finally it come back and it's like, the email's gone or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, now he's changed his email address. Or it's gone, he's took it down or something. So I got a weirder feeling, and that's when I reached out to FBI and I talked to the Jacksonville office and I told them, and we talked, and that's on recording too, but I didn't put it out because this case is different than Summerwell's, and I'm just like, nah. And I was trying to get a hold of the detective because I had already been in the police department, and I'm pulling the records. I don't know how long it's going to take, but they will email those to me. And I'm glad I went in that day because I've already tried to pull them, which they'll email those to me. But in light of everything, I redid them, and I want the night they got into the fight. I want prior to a little bit in light of stuff. And I'm going to see if there's any also on the grandma there. Was she ever there when they got into an argument and stuff? Because I hear she went there all the time, and she was not supposed to be around the daughter. I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with the other I hear, the hearsay. I don't know.
Right.
But I talked to the detective, called me back, and again I got that on recording. Some things I had to mute out because it was it would have absolutely doxed me, and I don't do well on the muting different stuff. So all y'all needed to know was I called and they said, yes, you need to do this, that, and other. She gave me a personal link to submit the it's called evidence. I put that on there as well. I did a screenshot of, she sent it to my email. It's good for 2 weeks. If I have any evidence that personally gets uploaded and goes to a certain place, so they want our help. And she said nothing's outside the box or too silly or whatever.
Of course, they want your help now after they dropped the ball.
Yeah.
How many times?
Yeah, at least 2 that we know of. So, and the teachers got it back out there both times. But so, I feel this detective though, she did say she wasn't, I did ask her about the Amber Alert because she didn't get an Amber Alert. She did tell me that, she wasn't on the case at the beginning, but now she's on it. So I do have to give her the benefit of the doubt. But so that night I was on my live, and I was just so frustrated with everything that was going on. And they kept telling me, we'll call the number. And I'm like, I'm the biggest person on YouTube to call anybody. Not scared. I've called the police. I've done this. I've done that. I've been ridiculed. I've been drugged here, drugged there, blah, blah, blah. I've made mistakes and didn't care. But I had this feeling I just did not want to call this man back. Even after I agreed, and I'm like, no, this man's okay. He's whatever. I saw that TikTok video where he was out there playing the cards, and the neighbor, I don't know if you've seen that one or not, but the neighbor that I told you, it was the black guy and the white guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing the cards with him. He's the one that's been over the table. He was there. It is something I didn't want to do. Something's telling me no. I'm no. I just didn't want to call this man. Somebody had already tried to get me to call the number earlier and that. I'm like, no, no, no. And on that live, I'm like, y'all don't want to. And then I sit there. You can see me. I'm like, I don't want to. I'm like, I'll text him. And I had already texted him that day, and he wouldn't answer my text. I even told that detective, I'm like, I don't know if it's a burner phone, and if the burner phone's gone, I don't know if he's just not answering my text. But no. So I sit here on the live that night. I'm like, I'm okay, y'all give up. I'm just gonna call. I don't want to. I'm gonna see if he answers. Lo and behold, guess what? He answers. I had to block these people out and just go off the top of my head and act like none of this is going on and just act like my cheerful self and say, hey, how you doing? I mean, y'all can see me. I'm just like, I was up there. I was up there. Hey, you forgot to tell me you moved. And he lied to me. I'm like, I accidentally ran into your friend. I found out where you lived and giggle, giggle. And I felt creepy though. It was this feeling I got. I've never felt like that with anybody. Listen, I can get along with anybody and talk to people of all walks of life. I've never felt like that with Dom. I've never felt like that with anybody. Even if I know they're in the wrong. It felt so wrong to me. Everything felt wrong. It was this gut feeling I had. I couldn't get off there soon enough, and I just hung up, and I was like, But he lied to me. I even had one of my mods went over it and said, he never told you. He swore he told me, which it wasn't important to me. It didn't matter. He said, I told the cops 3 months before that I moved. I said, okay, you did? And then I had to say, well, maybe you did tell me. But what I told him, I said, well, if you want me to, I got all these flyers. I'd love to send them to you. And I was trying to get his address. I don't mind telling it on here now. It don't matter. And I said, if you want me to. And that's what I told him on the text message. See, I said, I would love to send you these flyers. I'll send you the text message. I said, I'd love to send you these flyers. And I was there. I have a bunch of them. I said, I'll send them to you if you want to forward me your address. See, he don't want to give that out. He don't want nobody. And I asked him, I said, that night on the phone, I said, are you still working as an officer? Or, he said, yeah. I said, are you, because he said I think he said he was in Georgia. And I said, so are you still, he said he works nights. And I said, are you working in Georgia or Florida or something like that? And he said, oh, no, I'm still working in Florida. I don't believe he's working as a CO officer. I have reason to not believe that. You know what it is. I don't have to put it all out here, but I don't think he is. Don't think he's been doing that in a while.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about that off YouTube.
Okay.
Because I want to know. But some of the chat had some really good questions. But Trina wanted to know, why did the mom go over there the night before she went missing?
That I don't know. I mean, why do you drive 500 miles away? The only thing that I heard is through the Facebook, like everybody else, on one of her videos. She said in her video, one of those, she asked him if he could keep her a little bit longer. And she said he told her, you could have gave me a little bit extra time, which is understandable, and I don't know if she drove to come get her and they had some kind of argument or not, but you heard him in the phone call, the first one. He says he's had her since she was 5 years old. So did he have custody? I don't know. Did they have split custody? I don't know.
Didn't he say that in the phone call just now?
Yeah, that's
That
what
they
I'm
had
talking about.
joint? Okay.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, according to her, she says she had her during the winter or the summer breaks, and and he had her. So she says she's got this eviction notice, the first
Bye,
one,
Richie.
the first one in like 10 years because she spent all this 5-figure grant money. You know, well,
So,
they
like,
both have all these companies, as I've researched. Let's just put it like that. So there's something up with that. I don't know. Something's
a
fishy
lot
going.
of people in the chat, not a lot of people, but a few people in the chat are asking how would it work with your child missing and taxes? And
Mhm,
like that's a question that now I'm also asking because I do believe if you've had the child 6 months or like a day over 6 months or whatever, you're able to claim them. Well, this June 3rd is like 6 months and 3 days. So
mhm.
how do
Yeah,
you
if you
think
have,
that
you got to
could
have
that
them.
be could that be like something that could have happened?
Yeah, you got to have them at least 6 months living in your house.
Do you think the mom would have been able to claim her as a dependent um
Um,
for
she
last
could
year?
have. I mean, she could have lied, but it also depends on the first one to get their taxes in too. But they're going to catch up with you, you
But they
know.
can though. That even though she's missing, they can still claim her as a dependent because she's
Oh
yes.
yeah, yeah. Because like the dad, he can still claim her because he can say she lived with me 6 months, and the mom can claim her and say, well, she lived with me 6 months. Who has
Right.
proof? They may audit. They may say, or it may come out next year, or it may catch up with them later, or they may just both go. They may agree to go. She lived with me 6 months, and she lived with me 6 months. You see where I'm going with that? And then nothing will happen. They'll both get equal. They'll both be able to claim.
I think that the dad would be able to claim her because June 3rd, she was living with the dad
Mhm.
before June and she went missing June 3rd. Therefore, she's not obviously with the mom, living with the mom. She still has the dad's address and in the dad's care. So, in my opinion, in the 6 months would be him. But I mean, it doesn't really matter the
Well,
taxes.
yeah.
People are
I
just
mean,
asking.
he's legally going to be able to be the one to claim her. He would
Right.
legally be able the one to get the money for her. I'm just saying, would the mom claim her?
But then does she even work? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even the dad, do they even really have jobs that you
Well,
can
I
claim?
don't I don't think neither one of them to be. I mean, I don't know. The dad might. There's an awful lot of suspicious things going on. Follow the money. I mean, where's her 5-figure grants coming from? I don't know if school gives 5-figure grants, to be honest with you, but they might. Who knows? Are they getting the government things? There's a lot of LLCs being opened and shut up. That's all I know.
Wow. Peas in a pod. Hi. He says IRS will check her social security number. You can only be claimed on one tax return. Do they do that every year though? Like when someone claims them and then say the mom would come back after and try to claim her, does it flag it automatically or do you have to wait to see if you get audited?
It would depend. They're cracking down on this child earned income credit. They're really cracking down on that.
Okay, so wait, no. So the teacher reported her missing June 3rd.
Hmm.
She hadn't been to school for a few days, let's say give or take a week cuz you know, we don't really know. So that would have been before June.
But
So
see,
maybe
she's
that
got
was the mom's issue, was the money.
could have been.
because that would have been over 6 months. She would have got her before June, and then June to December, well, to the first of the year would be the 6 months, and
But
she would
even
have went to get
according
her.
to mom on the video, mom said out of her own mouth, I called him to see if he could keep her a little bit longer. And he said, you should have gave me a little bit more notice. So why did she go down there? Did he say that he would not keep her? And the mom went down there and they got into a fight because she couldn't. Now, one of the kids, and I'm going to tell you, one of the kids that I spoke of earlier was asked, and the police was in on that conversation. They were asked, why did she not live with her mom? Lori told them that she didn't live with her mom because her mom could not take care of her. I don't know in what respect that meant. I don't know if that meant financial wise. I don't know if it meant mental wise, or it could have meant
Right.
both. But it meant that's what Lori said. That Lori said, per that child, that her mom, she didn't live with her mom because her mom could not take care of her.
I don't know, Smiley. It's like, in a way, it kind of is, in a way, kind of like Summer Wells, because it's like every day it's something different, and every day you catch a lie and
Yeah.
contradictions, and and it's like, I I don't know. And I'm so glad that you went out there, because we wouldn't have known,
Mm-mm.
what we know now. And many people probably changed their point of view on things now that they've heard. You go down there and you talk to the dad. But I do have a question.
Yes,
That first phone call with the dad, was that before or after you went to the apartment?
before.
So the dad could have told those two guys to look out for you, because you was a YouTuber, you were getting her name out there, and then all of a sudden this dude wants all your flyers.
Could be.
Just
Could
doesn't
be.
make sense, you
Oh,
guys.
and I don't know if I finished a while ago. Sometimes I get sidetracked. I feel like because when I went to knock on that door, I didn't see them pull up. They could have been in another apartment or doing whatever
Right.
or whatever. I feel like when I knocked on the door, I heard kids, so I didn't see anything, and I can't say for sure. Um, like the ladies up front said, there was little kids that are always out. Now again, they can say what they want to say. I didn't see nothing, so I can't say nothing or report anything. But what I can say is this: I heard little kids. Not to say they were there or next door or whatever. So what if they were over at another place or whatever, and little kids was in there by themselves? And what if they saw me at that door and just rushed back over there? You see what I'm saying? Because I was knocking on a door. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
As so, to be that emergency contact with those kids being by themselves, like Lori had.
Um, Either or they were their kids, because I mean, or they were their kids. They were
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
okay.
apartment by
Make sure.
themselves. Yeah, to make sure, like I wasn't just somebody like with a tag, because I did have a tag on, or just knocking on their door for what reason or whatever, or trying to rush back home, or you know what I'm saying, like, um,
Yeah, like they could have left them there while they went run around the complex to do
yeah,
something, or
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so they might have saw me and could have just been trying to hurry up and get back home if they could have been keeping an eye out on their own house or whatever. I don't know, because I didn't stick around to see if that's where they went or whatever. I don't know.
Yes, she is on the Center of Missing and Exploited Children. She is on that list, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it's been at least June 3rd that she's been on that list,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Um, that's what she wanted to know. But Peace in a Pod says, Any parent who moves when their child is missing should raise red flags that they have knowledge the child won't return, in my opinion. And I have the same opinion too, but and I know Smiley does too. She won't say it though.
Oh, I do. Yeah. If you move and then you change your email address, or yeah, your email address, and again, I'm a little bit suspicious about his job. Now, one of the ladies up front said, um, she said he's not working there anymore. I just can't see that he's working there anymore. So again, I need to find that out too for a fact. I don't know that factually, but I did ask him the other night on the phone, and he said, yeah, and he's working in Florida, because I asked him, is he transferred over to Georgia? And he said, no, I'm still going to Florida. He told me also too the other night on the phone, because when I called, at first he didn't answer, and I hung up because I was really glad. And then he called me back, and then he hung up. I'm like, oh Lord. And then I was hoping he didn't call back because I didn't want to talk to him. Well, he did call back. I don't know if he's trying to figure something out or whatever. Well, he told me he was asleep. Oh no, he wasn't asleep. He didn't sound asleep to me. And so, I don't know. And that's how it come about. He's like, because I do work nights or whatever, and it was like 8:30 or something, which is 9:30 there. Okay, well, if you work at midnight, don't you think you'd be up at like 9:30 or something? Come on now. I don't know. It
So
was just
that's
a straight line.
so he said he would get off at midnight?
No, he goes in at midnight.
Oh, and at midnight. Okay.
Yeah,
I was reading the chat at the same time and I didn't catch what
yeah,
you was exactly, and it's the same like Candace and Don went to Arkansas. Like
yeah,
why would you even leave the hill knowing that your daughter's missing? And that's what I'm saying. It's kind of similar, the same similarities between Lori and Summer in those instances. But in, others it's not.
yeah. And I was even a little bit more shocked, even more so in Lori's case, because I think I said it on camera with that lady. I'm like, she's not 5. I'm like, and I didn't mean it like, because I was thinking that with Candace and them, but I'm like, but it's even not likely that a 5-year-old will come walking up in the country somewhere. I'm like, but Lori is 12. What if a 12-year-old really does find her way back home and there is no home to go home to? You know,
Exactly.
it's more likely that a 12-year-old would come walking back home than a 5-year-old. I'm just saying.
Yeah. How far from where the mom lives in Tennessee to Rogersville? I'm just curious. Do you know about how far apart that is in the state?
Oh, from Nashville to Rogersville? Probably what? Right offhand, probably what, 5? I don't know, maybe 5 good hours or 6, something like that.
And does it follow like is there an interstate that goes through both of them?
No,
Like
no,
that would be for
it's a,
no.
it's a different direction.
Oh, okay. A
Yeah,
child wouldn't know how to find a parent who's moved big or little. That's right. I know. I feel one way about the dad, and then when you hear the phone calls, you want to feel another way, and you can't go by your feelings.
yeah, yeah. Because I was so opposite. I mean, I was just opposite. Yeah, you can't. You definitely can't go by your feelings. You definitely can't. And then when I seen him, I'm like, no, he's a player too. Huh. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
that's
was.
why you really need to. It's hard to tell somebody by their text. That's why also I won't even call this creator out, but that's why y'all can probably guess, there was a creator in my chat one time and a lot of stuff was going on. And I'm like, no, I don't want you there. I want you to come up here and look me in my eyes so we can talk and I can see if you're telling me the truth. And they did. He did. You know, it's hard to text because a lot of stuff gets misconstrued. And sometimes,
90% of it feels like.
yeah, and it's hard to really read somebody unless you're looking at them, or you don't really even have to do that, but certainly you want to talk to somebody on the phone or something most of the time. If you can, not always. I don't always like to talk to people on the phone, but I'm just saying, you know, if it's something serious like this, it's better to do it.
Well, you said that this was your first time actually doing boots on the ground, and I think you did a fantastic job. I know
Thank
you there were times when you did like, I don't know, what am I gonna do? What do I say? I don't know. But it seems like it just comes natural to you, and for them to be Summer's case and Lori's case to be like not close but close enough for you. I I think that you'll be able to do, yeah, a lot of work with Lori's case, just like you did with Summer's case. And the
Yeah.
fact that you're there. How far is you're in Panama Beach? How far is that from where the dad lives? Wasn't it
It's about oh, no,
Tallahassee?
no, Tallahassee's about, takes us about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get up there. It's not that far.
And where does the dad live now? How far away from where
Oh,
he used to live?
he's about 44 minutes from where he used to live.
Oh, okay. So that if he did commute, it wouldn't be like unrealistic. So,
No, no,
okay.
that's really nothing. He's on that side of Georgia. See, I didn't even know that, or I would have tried to ring him up that day probably. It's not, it's not a real big drive from there, once you're up there. And I've always loved going to Tallahassee. I mean, just for a drive. I mean, we go the back roads sometimes, or I'll drive the back roads because it's a beautiful scenery. Tallahassee has a lot of, like in the parks, museums, and stuff like that. They have a lot of outdoor happenings and things going on. The day that I was up there, I just thought, man, there was a lot of football games and stuff outside, and um, all kinds of happenings going on. I just thought, man, she could be anywhere. She
I've
really
gone to
could.
Tallahassee one time whenever I ran away from a hurricane. The only hurricane I ever left for in South Louisiana, I went to Tallahassee.
Yeah,
And I stayed in the room till it was ready to go back home. I didn't sightsee anything, but I want to go to Panama
yeah,
beach so bad because I hear it's like the water's so clear, and
it is. We have
I'm
some
used
of
to
the most,
muddy.
yeah, we have some of the most beautiful beaches here, and Destin. Oh my gosh, it's so green and pretty. It's just
And
emerald green.
it's so weird because like it's the Gulf of Mexico and the rest of the Gulf is like dirty and muddy, and this is
Yeah,
like our beach in South Louisiana, Grand Isle, and all. It's like no, you don't want to go swimming over there.
yeah.
Um, if you are in here or watching the replay, please share this. I have put Smiley's channel link in the chat a few times. I'll do it again before I
Thank
get off
you.
live so that you have it at the bottom because she has a lot of information that she hasn't spoken about here, but it is on her channel. So, and she's like total Summer Wells. That's why I was like, if you don't know Smiley, then you probably don't follow Summer Wells because
Yeah,
some Smiley is Summer Wells, in my
yeah. I just
opinion. That's her
recently
case.
I share other people and other kids and stuff like that. I said I would never do another child's case, but here I am. Never say never. This case, something about this, and you're the reason that I found this case. It just spoke to me, and I'm like, you know what? I have to do this, and I didn't know why, and I still really don't know why. But this one just really come, like you said, natural to me, and I'm really glad I did it. and I will continue to do it. I will work as hard on this one as I have Summers, and it'll just be what it is. And then there's another little boy right now that's urgent up in Tennessee, Sebastian
They still have.
Rogers. If you haven't heard of that, yeah,
He's autistic, right?
he's autistic.
Yeah.
And I don't know where my channel will go or where it's going to take me, but I just decided it's going to be what it is, and that's that. And I'm not fancy. I just do what I do, and you either love me or you hate me. And if I talk about the weather one day and I'm a little bit crazy and I just laugh and carry on, it is what it is. I'm just I'm not I don't know how I ended up here. I ended up here because of Summer Wells, but I am a human, a mother, a grandmother, and I come to the conclusion when I'm doing Lori's the other day, I said, no, I'm just a concerned citizen and a taxpayer, and I just love people, and that's what I am, and that's all I am, and that's all I want to be. And
And
I'm
really,
not trying to be nobody else.
unfortunately, too many people try to be somebody else. And if everybody would just be themselves and just do you, then this world would be a whole
Absolutely.
lot better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Well, I have to go get supper started
well,
as we were
thank you.
interrupted. I am sorry about that.
No,
I
thank you
really,
thank you for inviting me over here. And if my people's over here, y'all better sub up to her. I'm telling you, I love this girl.
Kaz says she feels so anxious for Sebastian. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I really appreciate that. I love going to your channel too. All of your people are so kind. I'm not just saying that because she's on my panel. I do go in her lives, and her people are really kind to me.
She does come over, yes. Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate it again. And you're all welcome anytime.
All right, thank you, Smiley. I'll talk to you later whenever I end. It shouldn't be too much longer. Thanks for coming up. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, thank you, Kaz, for putting it. I was just gonna put it in again. If you guys haven't hit that like button for me, would you please do so? I would really appreciate it. Also, we need to share this live out because I didn't hear of this story. I was scrolling through Nancy Grace. I was scrolling through her stories and I saw it, so I was listening to it. And that's when I was playing it, and that's whenever Smiley came in and found out about it too. But like, no one is talking about it. It's just like she fell off the face of the earth or something. It's just, we have to keep her name out there, just like Summer Wells, just like Michael Monkey Vaughn, just everybody else. We have to keep their name out there, and more people need to cover this. Okay, Borrowed Angel, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you. Have fun cooking. You must be around the same time zone as me. All right, guys. Anyway, yes, please share this out. Tell your favorite creators her name, Lori Paige. Get them to please go over this case so we can get her name out there so we can find her. If you haven't subscribed to Smiley Stories World, please do. This is her link one more time. That way it'll be at the bottom of the chat. You won't have to scroll through. You all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And like I said, we need to get Lori's name out, her picture and her name out more. Y'all have a wonderful night, and thanks for coming in and watching with us.